Woman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, also known as AOC. Like, I love that. She's already got the initials. She's that famous, and she's only been there 5 minutes. And she's one of the most vocal Democrats in the game right now. She's sounding the alarm about how seriously she says we need to take climate change. Watch.
If we don't turn this ship around. And so it's basically like there's scientific consensus that the lives of children are going to be very difficult. And it does lead, I think, young people to have a legitimate question. You know, is it okay to still have children?
She's getting a lot of blowback for saying that, but don't climate scientists say that we're on the verge of doomsday? I mean, shouldn't people be, like, worried and scared about this, really? You know, I mean, to me, it's like every time there's a weather report, Al Roker should say it's going to be 20 degrees in New York and a polar cap the size of Portugal has just dropped into the East River. Yeah. I want to hear the information. Another polar bear, a group, has become extinct. This animal is gone. I think the weathermen need it because the news department, they feel like it's not interesting enough. It's too boring for the public. We're more interested in, you know, the excitement of the Trump administration and the Kardashians.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that is the weathermen. I think that's where it belongs. They need to tell us every day how close we're getting to total disaster on this planet.
Yeah. Well, I know it's something that you and I've talked about a lot. I know it's something, Joy, that you're concerned about a lot. And I remember we had a conversation even last year, and you said if you were younger, it's something that you would be thinking about very seriously. Yeah. Would you bring a child into this world considering climate change? And I thought, oh my gosh, that sounds so drastic. But then if you look at the research, the birth rate in the U.S. has been falling for a decade, reached a new low in 2016. And studies have examined how large a role climate change plays in people's childbearing decisions, millennials in particular, and younger people. And by and large, they're saying that they worry about the quality of life their children born today will have as shorelines flood, wildfires rage, and extreme weather becomes more common. So I know that it sounds like, you know, Alexandria is being so, you know, crazy and so left and radical. But the studies bear out what she's saying. Yeah. The studies bear it out.
It does concern me that there's even a way to defend the question she's asking, because there's a difference in caring about our climate, which I would argue probably everyone in this room cares about the future of their kids and their grandkids and the air they breathe, and asking a legitimate question about doing away with the human race. Last I checked, we elect politicians to come up with solutions, not to just do away with everybody. Of all the things she said, this is by far, in my opinion, the most outrageous, the most absurd.
Aren't you taking it even further than what she took it? She's asking the question. And isn't that question legitimate?
Do you know what? The Democratic Party should make this their platform. They should ask that question.
It will be on their platform.
Good luck. Good luck.
Can I say what is also on their platform, which I wanted to bring up, was Ben Sasse authored the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act. This act would punish any doctor who fails to provide medical care to a child born alive after an attempted abortion. Every single Democrat, except 3 of them, voted for this yesterday, including Cory Booker, Kristen Gillibrand, Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, Elizabeth Warren, and Bernie Sanders. So that means these Democrats don't believe that a baby born after a botched abortion should receive medical care. Now, this is something that started with Governor Northam. Now, this is an example when we're talking about people having children and just how extreme the left has gone. This is an example of that. And by the way, according to a Marxist poll, 80% of Americans support abortion being limited to the first 3 months of pregnancy. So if Democrats want to win an election going forward, are you going to be the party of late-term abortion, the party of infanticide? Let me finish, please. Is this the platform you're going to have? Because when you're talking about children and you're talking about being pro-life, this is well out of the mainstream of where Americans are at. And when I hear AOC saying that, I actually think Cory Booker, Kristen Gillibrand, Kamala Harris, all of these people, they are answering her. I believe AOC is the leader of the party. And if you think that is how you win back the White House, I'm here to tell you, I spent a lot of time in red states. I'm from a red state. That is a losing argument.
I need to push back on that. Only because...
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yeah. I need to push back on that.
On the Ben Sasse Born Alive Abortion Survivors.
Yeah.
I thought you were pro-life like me.
I am. And that's why I need to push back on it, because I think...
So you think a baby born from a botched abortion should be put down like a dog or a cat?
This is why I need to push back on it.
Disgusting.
This is why I need to push
It's
back.
infanticide.
Because the bill that the Senate Dems blocked yesterday was to provide medical care for infants who survived failed abortions.
Yes.
Now, one thing is,
So
it's
those
something
babies
that's
should
so
just be left to die on a
Is she
table.
going to be able to tell her
it's something
side
that's
to
so
this or not?
extremely
Disgusting.
rare that it basically never happens.
It's not rare, in fact.
Because my sister-in-law is an OBGYN and also Catholic, so it's something that we talk about a lot.
So even though
And
it's
something
rare
that
in the
bothers
times that it
me.
happened, it should
So
it should
we don't
happen.
need a new law for this, which is why I think a lot of the Democrats voted
Then
against it.
why did this cause so
because
much
it's already
controversy?
required to provide medical care to infants born alive, which is the Born Alive Infants Protection Act. So this bill
Keep saying
required
it,
that
Democrats.
this bill also required that all babies born alive be immediately transferred to a hospital, which my understanding is it's not always safe for a newborn. And passing this bill would impose legal and criminal penalties on doctors who don't comply with that.
Yes, the doctors who would
in the
not
best
provide
interest
medical
of the
care
infant.
for an aborted
So
child
this
who
is part,
survived,
I think,
that doctor
of a
should be
larger
punished.
strategy to pay.
Thank you. That doctor should be punished.
By the way, this is also.
It would be nice also if the Republicans cared about children after they were born.
I just want to put a button on it in the sense that, and this is a tough topic, I think, but in terms of the law, that the bill that the Senate Dems blocked yesterday, my understanding is that the reason that it was blocked is because the Dems felt that there wasn't a need for a new law because it's already required that medical care for infants born alive need be provided, and that law is the Born Alive Infants Protection Act. And under that, under the bill that was proposed, it required that all babies born alive be immediately transferred to a hospital. And that is not always safe for a newborn. So that is one of the reasons why the Democrats also voted against the bill. And passing the bill would impose legal and criminal penalties on doctors who don't comply with moving the infant, even if it isn't in the best interest of the infant.
How often does something like that actually happen?
And it is extremely rare that this sort of failed abortion happens. And even in the case when it happens, doctors are required to make sure that the baby receives medical treatment.
Strong pro-life women know exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, we're changing gears.
They know exactly what I meant. And if the Democratic Party wants to be the party of infanticide,
all right, we got
that is their choice.